Hello, and welcome back to Pseudo Gameplay TV. I'm your host, Pseudo. Today we're back into the character spotlights for Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order. And today's character is Elsa Bloodstone. Now, previous to playing this game, I had no idea that this character even existed, as she's even a fairly recent addition to the Marvel Comics family. When I say recent, she was first introduced in December 2001, so she's been around for a while, about 18, 19 years at this point. But she's a pretty intriguing character and has her uses inside the game. Real quick before looking at her in-game abilities, a couple of noteworthy remarks about her is she is an expert markswoman. It possesses superhuman strength, speed, durability, and endurance, has a regenerative healing factor, has immunity to vampire bites, and also uses some mystical items, which kind of makes sense in how she's introduced into the game and when she comes into play. Now, she is one of those characters that comes available beyond the 20 level mark and makes herself quite useful in terms of not needing any sort of ramp up to unlock all of her abilities once acquired, though again, available quite a bit later in game. So in terms of her abilities and attacks that she uses here in the game, she is a little bit more of a ranged fighter. Her first ability is the fully stocked, where she whips her rifle around herself, launching enemies before unloading on them with her pistols. So kind of a bash with the rifles that you see her wielding over here, and then a follow-up with her sidearms. Her second ability is a shotgun blast, where she takes aim and fires a rifle, which doesn't make sense given the name of the attack, but that's what they have listed. This is one that is, you hold the button down, she will aim at the various targets around her. Now, her third attack is the double barrel, where she takes a rifle in each hand and shoots them at the enemy. This is an attack that you can mash or press repeatedly in order to keep shooting, and I'd imagine it has some directional influence as well, which we'll explore in the Infinity Rift in just a moment. Now, her fourth and final attack that she possesses is the bullet bombardment, where she fires both weapons wildly while spinning around in a circle, similar to some of the other characters that we've seen in previous showcases. Now, in terms of the team synergies that I've left in effect here, I do have the exact same setup from the last video, except switching out the titular character, mainly because she has a staggering amount of synergies with these characters in particular. So it didn't make a whole lot of sense to move things around. But without going any further into depth or delaying any further, let's jump in to the Infinity Rift and showcase what Elsa Bloodstone can do in this game. Alright, and we're back to our favorite rift, the level 14 wave of defeating 200 enemies on the Kree ship. So let's jump in and showcase what Elsa Bloodstone is capable of. Alright, and we're right back into the thick of it. So Elsa's base attacks are ranged attacks, so she is a little bit more effective in terms of combat from a greater distance, as her attacks don't do any more attack close up, though her final light attack is with her twin rifles or shotguns, and does have an element of knockback to it. Now, in terms of her heavy attack, she pulls out one of her rifles and will fire at the opponent in her direct line of fire. And it does have some knockdown, but is pretty limited in terms of who it can affect. If the opponent is right there at the end of the blast, of course it's going to do more. Now, in terms of her aerial, she jumps up into the air and slams the hilt of her gun down. Any true gun-loving owner would know that that is terrible in terms of allowing your weapons to fire true and proper. But since this is a fictional video game and it looks cool, she will do as she pleases. Now let's go ahead and look into her attacks, starting off with the fully stocked attack. Now she'll spin her a little bit, knocking her opponents up into the air, and then follows up with her sidearm pistols. So, does a decent job at knocking some of the weaker opponents down. While maintaining a safe distance in order to continue being effective. Now her second attack, that shotgun blast, is a little bit different, but it does have kind of a line of effect. And does have some directional influence in terms of correcting where you are placing it. Now keep in mind, the longer you charge it, the more it is going to take out of your stamina bar. And that is worth keeping check on. As if you abuse that stamina bar too much, you will find yourself unable to use your special attacks. Now in terms of her third attack, we have the double barrel. And this is one that you can mash back and forth a little bit and put in some directional influence to alter where those double barrel blasts are going. But it does work quite well, especially as Elsa is meant to manage things a little bit more from a distance. And for her fourth and final ability, we have the bullet bombardment, where she does kind of spin around and launches herself slightly forward in the direction she's facing when initiating the move. Creates some decent crowd control, crowd pressure, but let's jump into her ultimate attack. So she spins around a little bit and influences the characters within the line of fire. Not the greatest ability that I've seen, but hey, it's true to the character, and that's what really matters most. And with that, we have cleared out this trial and showcased what Elsa Bloodstone's capable of. My team seeming to make pretty short work of those opponents. But let me know what you thought of Elsa Bloodstone in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Let me know which characters you're excited to see the breakdown and analysis of, and be sure to subscribe for more. Until then, my name is Pseudo. Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you all in the next one. Take care.